嗨，我是阿汤，这次要玩是 Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment， 欢迎你加入我。这次要进行的是第6个事件——半月街事件。好，让我们来开始吧。
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been
要出
invited
门
somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
谁？
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
Dinner. How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand
他们
your
这些年来
interest in
赚了很多
Holmes.
钱之类
They're
的。
dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet. They...
Watson, you should be excited.
Ah.
It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read
Wow.
the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
是有些什么
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street,
哇哦，
invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu,
哇哦，
entree,
只有我们
frozen rat head salad. Is this
哦，
a joke?
听起来很营养啊。
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way.
哇哦，
Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes.
哪会啊，听起来超美味的。
Goulash, street turnips,
我倒没有吃过刺猬，
homemade juice,
挺感兴趣的。
and it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
啊，
Well, we can't go there. We
只有
can't
马车来
eat
接我
that.
们吗？
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
我们必须要去。
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
怎么样
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
如何？
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong?
诶，
Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
我们很期待，
Mr.
就等
Holmes
这一
is my
天了。
brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men.
诶，
You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
嗯，
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You
啊
know，what they're like. They'll hang him.
在
They
街头
won't
生
look any
存
further.
Holmes, we
就需要被
have
暴
to
打一
help.
顿。
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
啊哈，
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene.
但晚餐怎么
You'll be
办
there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
啊
Very？well.
好，那我们就出发吧。看来晚餐是吃不成了。总之，我们先去半月街吧。OK， 我们到了。所以杀了2个人，是发生什么事情？哦，好嘞，那也是离开的方向。好，好哦，好哦，所以是那个方向才对。啊，不是，到底是哪里？不，我到底……好，这条街才是。OK， 总算到了。那尸体呢？也被取走了吗？诶，遗体还没被取走。
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that
哦，
Good
我们收到
evening,
委托前来。
Constable.
you? Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is
这么
nothing
巧。
like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
啊，
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
哈，受害者是
Who were the victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a
嗯，
jeweler by trade.
一个珠宝商人在这里做什么？目击者呢？
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were 2 other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
哦，所以证词呢？
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street.
哈
That，was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the
所以你
street
并不是亲眼
where
看
we
到
are。standing now.
That is correct. but I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started.
A
few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
所以不是由你逮捕他的。枪声。
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all
所以你
over
说
the
的烟
sky.
火
They
正
were
是
so
烟火
loud I couldn't hear anything
我以为你
else.
只是枪声。烟火。
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
不能不知道，你这样还算英国人
Yes,
吗
I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
半月节的细节，告诉我们。
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
总之很暗。特纳先生装货。
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
谢谢你哦。所以是那扇窗户吗？还是对，是那扇窗户。那您又是哪一位啊？莱恩特纳。所以这是你的窗
Good
户。
evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman?
Yeah， 就是我，就是在下。
Well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
证词。
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard two gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window.
通常听到枪声应该是
And I
逃吧
saw two bodies.
？
And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Oh, near this body.
Did
尼
he
尔
notice
是哪里
you?？
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
还有别人吗？
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
你从这里看到白教堂，两声清晰的枪声。
Were the two shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment.
确实挺有趣的。逃跑之后，
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with the gun might return,
啊
so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming into Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
做一下侧写吧。脸上有什么特征可以做侧写吗 ？No。奖章，巴拉克什么帽？但总之是战争老兵。OK。缺失纽扣，贫穷生活。哇哦，让老兵过着贫穷的生活。需要帮助，贫弱的腿，跛脚。
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
总之谢谢你。再来呢？对，还有那位卖花的女士，我们需要更多的证词。
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
真是太大方了，谢谢你。您的证词。
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes, I was selling my flowers as usual,
Huh.
and then the fireworks began in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those.
对对
But
对，
then,
烟火事情怎
all
样
of a
的哈？
sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
枪声。
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
但那就怪了，就是证词对不上来。刚才那位先生讲说，就是他听到2声非常非常大声，然后但他却说，麦华小姐却说，就是烟火还在放，开枪时间对不上，太奇怪了。其他人
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to
谢谢
you,
你。
Mrs. Powell.
但应该还有其他的东西可以调查吧，譬如说像遗体之类的。Wiggins，
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
还没，我先赶到了这里来。总之，先调查遗体。头部中枪。Yep， 头部中枪。
Bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
然后身上有什么东西吗？左边口袋，一把钥匙。
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
总之先收下，说不定之后会用到。这应该就是那位珠宝商吧。然后侦探视角亮起来了，石板，物体卡在当中。我刚才看到了木块。
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look.
木头？怎样的木头？
This shard of wood is quite new.
而且应该不会无缘无故卡在那里。好，那还有另一个遗体。身体中枪，头部。布莱恩维科蒂的脑袋。
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
中枪是一件超痛的事情。按住伤口。
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant.
Yeah， 一定很可怕。
The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound.
但贯穿腹部，好，所以是击中了重要的东西。手，纹身。
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there.
真的，这个年头就是在监狱待过人就已经会有纹身了。调查犯罪现场并谈话完成，所以我要回到警局去嘛。询问莱顿，调查其携带的证物。莱顿，不对，莱顿是哪一位啊？在警察局里面吗？好。好，那我们去警察局吧。OK， 我们到了。
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
你知道的，谋杀跟谋杀还有谋杀。
Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Well, 我们就是来调查
Who
的。
knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
好，
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
好，那么我们先去政务室一趟吧。 还有什么对话吗？
Mr. Holmes, what is the trouble with that lad? Isn't he guilty of murder?
我们还不知道，因为并没有直接证人看到就是他开枪，他只是手上拿着枪，我想这就是那把枪吧。莱顿的枪，其实我们可以直接打开来看，就是看里面是否6发都还在。
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon.
把弹夹打开
It
看，
seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
所以就可以看是否击发，不是吗？有，我看到了击发2发，对。所以这把枪确实开枪了，但不确定是不是在那个场合，又或者是不确定是不是他开的。然后呢？我还漏掉什么东西？桶状钩环。Yep.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
然后怀
A
表，
cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
一个苹果跟卷烟。
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
好，所以就这些东西而已。然后再需要询问他的证词。他被收押在询问室里面吗？还是在？莱顿查普曼。
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
但你是 Wakins 的哥哥吗？你看起来比较老。
Good evening,
不，
Mr.
我说
Chapman.
你看起来老很多。
I've got nothing to say. It's
Oh.
all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother. You know him. Then that means you're...
没有错
Sherlock Holmes.
大名鼎鼎的那
Oh,
个。
blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
那就太感谢了。总之，现在做一下特写、侧写。总之被打得很惨啊。等一下，为什么没有办法没有办法对到？近期被殴打、拒捕、暴躁，先想把偶尔打架，在街上长大。被打得好惨啊！优质围巾，都市风潮，办公室职员，也在西监狱待过。好，我们来听一下你这边的故事吧。
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
所以还有另一个人存在。回警察局时间。
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive.
那你就被看见
Saw one
了。
had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
所以你没追到。
Interesting. Pray continue.
那你有看到就是那个人长相吗？
And I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic.
嗯
And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police.
Uh-huh.
But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
Uh-huh.
A thrilling account, my young man.
只是你身上也真干净，就是你说你身上沾满了血，但你身上看起来没有血。第三个人
Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
描述一下。
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
为什么要追上去？
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
正义
You were
感。
willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
但西门监狱的囚犯
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
你手上
You
刺
have
青
a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark
所以你一定
upon
认识
Mr.
他才对啊。
Vercotti.
你
You
为什么
came
说
to know
谎？
him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
这你的动机到底是什么？复仇吗？布莱恩·科维蒂，维科
Could you
蒂。
tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary
Oh,
while
no.
he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes.
有没有人在外
And
面
for
等着
around
你
2
是有
years,
差的
I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
所以我现在是否可以拼凑起一些线索呢？我看一下，对，所有的证据都已经调查完成了。两位受害人就像是相同陈述，没有任何关系吗？双重谋杀，肯尼斯巴特勒和布莱恩维科蒂是被同一个人杀害的。还有其他线索，就像是来一段描述，相同陈述，特纳视线，个人动机，发生在半月期的杀人事件或许有着某种不为人知的个人动机。莱顿的陈述，虚构第三者，莱顿·查普曼描述的第三者纯属虚构，为的就是能让他摆脱罪责。这个还不知道，但是两种不同的枪响挺奇怪的，不同的枪响。特纳的左轮，特纳听到的枪声不一样，其实因为一共开了3枪，而其中2枪是同时发出的。射击位置，特纳听到的枪声不一样，是因为他们分别从 半月街不同的位置发出的。这可能可以做实验看看。不，我以为是可以做实验。特纳的视线，漆黑的窗户，他真的看得清楚吗？我很怀疑。矛盾的证词，特纳先生说自己待在窗边，而这与马洛警官没有在窗边见到任何人的证词相互冲突，没有错。Yep， 矛盾的证词，莱顿的陈述，莱顿的左轮手枪相同陈述，毫无相关。然后这里还有力的证据，几位目击者证词都把毛球指向唯一的嫌疑犯莱顿·查普曼。双手谋杀，等下现在就可以得到结论是哪一招？我想没那么简单。莱纳陈述，两位受害者，射击的位置。特纳听到的枪声不一样，其实一共开了3枪，而其中2枪是同时发出的。但这样子就跟双重谋杀的证词相冲突。虚构的第三者，是吗？因为我没有其他选择，好奇怪。现在马上就可以得到结论了吗？等一下，让我确认一下。解决在半月街的凶杀案，当时在半月街，肯尼斯·巴特勒和布莱恩·科蒂可能发生过一场枪战。调查尸体重新推演事件，与特纳先生交谈，调查他的公寓，也许能发现他的证词当中有猫腻。所以我们必须要再回到现场一次。Yes， 再回到半月街。但也太快可以得到结论了吧？只是非常奇怪，有许多证词跟当时描述状况是对不上的，导致我们需要重新推演。发生什么事情了？
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm
What?
waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
你还不知道
You
了
ain't？killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
先生别这样，还不确定他真的是杀人犯。
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
这里有根杆子。
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
值得关注对象。然后想象画面可以开起来了。其中一名受害者可能连续开了2枪，请调查是哪一位受害者。但该怎么做？选择枪手。先从这边开始吧。但如果他开枪的话，应该可以找到就是弹道，对吧？那么我应该可以在那里找到子弹才对。
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
所以才需要那个钩子。OK， 把它勾起来。
This should be useful.
Yep。然后再抬到更高的地方去，调查看看，有吗？我们看到有子弹，看到了弹孔，不是吗？
Nothing interesting here.
好，所以没有。等一下，可是还没有调查完毕，好奇怪。那个不是吗？怪了。
Nothing interesting here.
啊嘞，好哦，所以有可能我弄错了。那再来一次，选择另一位枪手。一枪肚子，然后一枪上面，试试看，有吗？有子弹吗？话说我们怎么知道就是他是怎么开枪的？哦，子弹冲击有。
Most definitely a bullet hole.
Yep.
The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
哦，重现枪战已经完成了。然后我们需要进你的房子，亲爱的特纳先生。真实内容有冲突。
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
但你说谎。特纳证词矛盾。
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
我们需要你的协助。
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please follow me.
好，谢谢你。然后他跛脚。
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
书架有什么特别的？拐杖。哦，断了一截。
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
结果是你，你靠那么近，然后你却没有说。
In a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
可疑到不能再可疑了。还有些什么吗？菜刀。
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
还有什么呢？我还漏掉了什么？我还没有找到什么东西呢？应该在这附近才对。哦，侦探视角 ，OK。菜刀、清扫物、碎纸，它磕碎的纸还是怎么样的？
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. His kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
但为什么？然后这附近呢，还有些什么吗？没有。
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
窗户调查 ，yes。打开窗户 ，yeah。
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window.
但刚才窗户打开的时候，就是我根本看不到，就是肯尼斯巴特勒，不知道是不是游戏视角的问题。
The dead body of Kenneth Butler.
然后布莱恩先生
Brian Vercotte's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
但那是现在有一大堆提灯之后，然后我在这里还有什么东西没有调查吗？卧室，我还没有进到他的卧室去。
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
桌子上没有什么特别的东西。好，看起来这里没有什么特别的。我是否还缺少什么呢？ 然后证词是可以改变的。第3枪，2位受害者，莱纳陈述。消失的第3者，莱纳查图曼的证词当中提到，有一个穿外套的男人消失在半月街，这一点或许已经说得通了，因为犯罪现场曾经有过第3声枪响，而那把枪却消失不见了。Yep， 第3枪，2位受害者。枪战，肯尼斯·巴特勒和布莱恩·维科蒂双方死于双方的交火，而其中一把手枪不见了。Yep。莱顿的陈述，2位受害者没有相关。Yes。同时开枪。可能是因为射击的位置不一样。其实一共开了3枪，而其中2枪是同时发出的，这个不确定。但是公寓里面可能还有什么东西没有找到。他急急忙忙在找那个东西，到底是什么？我没有发现什么，在哪里？好，刚才看到一个雕像，觉得很眼熟。壁炉。火堆里面有什么东西？里面有碎纸之类的东西吗？因为他把纸切碎了。侦探视角 ，yes。火，灰尘，焚烧的纸屑啊，真的，他烧掉了什么东西？书页调查。
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
但靠着科学是可以回复的。
These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
我们可能已经找到我们需要的东西了。研究事件发生是不是？他起床，拿起拐杖，放好破拐杖，用刀切纸，打开窗户。我觉得他先起床，拿起拐杖，然后打开窗户看下面发生什么事情，就要靠近尸体。靠近尸体取走某样东西，然后用刀切纸，把东西丢进火堆里面，然后放好破的拐杖，对得上吗？试试看。就是快速前进，然后他走下楼梯去看发生什么事情，然后捡起了什么东西，回到楼上去，把那东西切碎，丢到火堆，放好拐杖。不对吗？不然他起床，然后打开窗户，之后靠近遗体，然后回来放好破掉的拐杖，用刀把纸切碎掉，然后丢进火堆。查看序列，再试一次，对吗？然后拐杖坏掉了，是他走回楼上，把拐杖放着，就把纸给切碎掉，扔进火堆里面。对，没有错。
Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
这就需要靠一些科学实验了。对，还有些什么？侦探视角书。 油腻的指印。调查。
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
Oh.
Well now, what a find! A precious jewel concealed inside a book.
完全不可疑。难道这本书也是他拿来的之类的
？A bracelet with unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
我不知道这样说对还是不对，但他太贫穷了，无法拥有这么昂贵的东西，所以我有事情必须要问你，亲爱的先生，那个东西是从哪来的？靠近窗户。
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly despite my age, and when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
但你说谎。老旧的手镯，不对。好，我选择答案不正确。
Well, I'm able to move very quickly despite my age, and when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
但是嘛，你的跛脚。
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Time can pull tricks on you.
全部的真相告诉我们，你到底看到什么
？Everything else that you told us, Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
但你说谎。老旧的手镯。
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess.
Yep.
It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
解释一下。
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground. This precious jewel.
他把书给切掉了。
Took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man.
但你差点诬赖人了。
I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Yep. 即便那个主人已经死了，也要调查手镯，但怎么做？调查那个老旧手镯，查明它出现在半月街的原因。与马洛警官交谈，验证一个人躲在阴影中避开所有人视线的可能性。好，所以我必须下去跟马洛警官交谈。OK。我们来做一下实验吧。
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
你太客气了。
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
所以我们应该怎么做呢？我不太了解应该怎么做，但我刚才是已经看到了，但这个实验不是为了要验证， 就是。
No, this is not how I walked at the time of the crime. I was more attentive. Let's start over again.
那让我们再来一次吧。我看到他，但灯其实并没有照到他。总之要找到福尔摩斯吗？
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
好，再来一次。这次会躲到哪里去呢？亲爱的福尔摩斯先生。总之遗体在这里。哇哦，躲得非常好，这次没有找到人。
No, this is not how I walked at the time of the crime. I was more attentive. Let's start over again.
好，让我们再来一次。你在哪里呢，亲爱的福尔摩斯先生？在这里。
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
但为什么不是由我来躲，而是由我来找？真是有趣。不在。总之，查看每个角落。不在。我看到你了，这里。
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
好，重演马洛提灯已经完成了。那我要调查那个手环，必须要回到贝克街去。OK。阴暗角落，莱顿的陈说：“攀爬而上。如果当时真的有第三者在案发现场的话，那么他们唯一的逃跑路线就是往上方逃走。我必须重现莱纳描述的火光，并试图爬墙逃离。OK， 找到攀爬工具，但会是在现场吗？只是不管怎么样，就是先调查那玩意儿。搜寻手镯，百科全书，应该是吧？历史，希腊历史，不是吗？你不是说跟希腊有关？找到了。这些精美的古代珠宝是著名的希腊宝藏中的部分分藏品，在纯精致的手镯、项链和戒指上分别印有5个羊头。这部分米蒂利尼藏品在1885年博物馆失窃。
Here it is. I need to continue my research in my archives.
然后我记得我刚才看到了，就是关于报纸上面提到，就是有希腊宝藏失窃。Yep。A treasure thief， 希腊宝藏于昨晚失窃，犯人利用离开大不列颠博物馆的马车将宝藏运至馆外。白教堂地区的当铺老板肯尼斯·巴特勒当晚联系了苏格兰警方，宣称有人试图向他兜售宝藏品。警方根据提供的外貌特征逮捕了嫌犯文森·弗莱。一名职业窃贼被逮捕时，他正试图通过港口逃离伦敦，并且遭到了事发当天的马车车夫指认。文森特·弗莱拒绝认罪，并且不愿告知宝藏藏匿的地点。警方认定弗莱有罪，并且判其入狱。失踪的宝藏至今仍未找到。结果，就在那个当铺老板手上。
Here it is.
哇哦，真是会玩。
Kenneth Butler was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
是时候去拜访一下了。 找到可以发出闪光的枪和用于爬墙的工具。调查老旧的手镯，查明他出现在半月街的原因。所以我还没有找到。OK。对，他身上有一把钥匙。好，是时候去他的当铺。那我们去当铺看看吧。OK， 我们继续。然后马上就看到有一个先生，不知道在找些什么。你好啊，先生。看来无关。不对，那是一个酒吧，在哪里呢？Pawn shop， 这里吗 ？Yep。
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly.
那我们就进去看看吧。柜门 ，yes。不知道可以找到些什么，但哇哦，你这有不少宝贝。找到了信号枪。
This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
但我还需要爬墙的工具，如果可以在这里找到的话。爬墙的工具，爬墙的工具会在这里吗？柜台，也许可以找到些什么文件之类的。项链。羊头。
The ram's heads.
所以
This necklace belongs to the 5 rams of Mittelin collection.
全部都在那里啊。
That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
所以其实你一直以来都是共犯这样子。然后有一封信。Hello， 肯尼斯，我记得有一次你跟我提起过3件带有羊头图案的珠宝。 是从希腊出产的，还在你手里对吗？很好，告诉你个好消息，我找到了一个很有钱的买主，他非常喜欢这些珠宝，我可以安排你们见面，给你发笔小财，但我们也想要分一点钱。我会在礼拜天晚上的半月街十字路口等你，在烟火大会开始之前，布莱恩维科蒂，所以他是介绍买家的。 但不知道为什么，就是他却开枪射杀了他。有可能是维科蒂串通了什么人要抢他之类的，那是有可能的。右边抽屉，账簿。
Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations.
所以就这样吗？还是还有其他东西呢？不知道这里还有没有什么东西是可以拿来使用的。架子，这里不就是了吗？攀爬设备。
Exactly what I need to climb the wall.
爬墙设备 ，yes。找到信号枪跟攀爬工具 ，yep。模仿烟火当天，并且。 以正确方式逃跑。但这里呢？这已经调查完了吗？与马洛警官交谈，尝试重现当时烟火的闪光，验证是否可以通过爬墙来逃离犯罪现场。OK， 所以我们要去半月街。好，那我们出发吧。